right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Smash and grab. Dozens of cars targeted.
I mean, you live here.
Sure.
Why do you want, you don't want to come out the next morning and see your car trashed.
A look at the damage Magnolia Avenue woke up to this morning.
It may not look like much right now, but this area of thunderstorms that continues to develop right now will have an impact on our weather the next couple of days. Why this pattern is so important and why our radar may look like this on Monday and Tuesday.
Our top story tonight, a mother charged in the deaths of her 2 kids. For the first time, the fathers of both children speak out.
He looked up to her while she was being big sister to him.
Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. The Jefferson County community continues to mourn the horrific deaths of 9-year-old Scarlett and 2-year-old Isaac. Tonight, for the first time, we're hearing from the fathers of the children who are united in grief. Laura Barczewski is here with this 5 on Your Side exclusive. Laura.
Mike, both Scarlett and Isaac's fathers say they want their children to be remembered not by what happened, but as the loving, kind, and beautiful kids they were.
Through both of these fathers' eyes, their children, Scarlett and Isaac, were nothing short of perfect.
They were peas in a pod, and they, I don't know, they loved each other.
But their lives were cut short at the hands of the woman who gave them life. As these 2 fathers sat together on the bed of a truck, the words were sometimes hard to find as this tragedy weighs so heavily on their hearts. But they want to push it aside so others can see what they saw.
They were all love and there was no negative to either one of them kids, and I know they wouldn't want any negativity now. So we need to push the negativity out and bring them up.
Isaac's father, Michael, says his son was such a sweet and curious boy, picking up sticks, rocks, and even the cross he wore around his neck. Michael says he'll never forget the moment the unbreakable bond between Scarlett and Isaac began a short 2 years ago.
Like, as soon as he got home from the hospital, like, Scarlett just would not leave his side.
He'll always remember the way Isaac ran up to him to give him larger-than-life hugs. Scarlett's father, Jason, says now they're holding on to each other as love and prayer will get them through this.
Nothing but happiness for both of them now, and they're both together. They'll be together forever, and their strength and faith. And I've just found so much power through faith, knowing that my daughter and her brother are in heaven.
He says Scarlett wanted to be the best at whatever she was doing, from softball to gymnastics to everyday life lessons in the garden.
It was my first time really gardening, and it just really prospered. And I think now it was because I wasn't going to be able to get to do it with her again, but we had so much fun.
Scarlett and Isaac certainly had the most fun together.
Both of the kids loved anything that moved. If it moved, they wanted to be on it. And Scarlett, when she got the chance, she would want to have her brother on it, whether it was driving a lawnmower around or she just wanted her brother to be able to move with her.
I taught her how to ride riding lawnmower. The first thing she wanted to do was put him on her lap.
Yeah, she just wanted to start giving him rides.
While they're no longer here with them physically, Jason says Scarlett and Isaac are forever in their hearts until they meet again.
I wish I had more time, but I'm glad that I'm going to have eternity, and that's what's important. And I know Michael feels the same way.
Both Scarlett and Isaac's funeral services are this upcoming Monday and Tuesday and are private for family and friends. To help with those expenses, Bullpen Sports Grill near Park Hills held a benefit today, donating 20% of their sales to help the family. Mike.
Laura, thanks. It was a trail of destruction on Magnolia Avenue in South St. Louis today. Car windows were smashed and there was broken glass everywhere. New tonight, Annie Krall spoke with some of the people who parked there overnight and are fed up and frustrated.
Amongst the magnolia trees and their leaves lying on the ground, broken glass lined Magnolia Avenue Sunday. The glass of car windows almost exclusively on the driver's side now replaced, as you can see, by garbage bags. And we were speaking with drivers who had their cars unfortunately hit. They said it was a neighborhood event.
It's very sad that you can't even park on a city street without having something happen to your car. Very sad.
This string of damage, St. Louis Metro Police say, happened around 5:30 Sunday morning. Officers responding to reports of multiple car break-ins. People who live in the nearby apartment buildings told us off camera they wanted to be one of the lucky ones, but their hopes were quickly dashed seeing the crushing evidence. Parked and thankfully not hit on Sunday afternoon were Shona Phillips and her mom Karen Phillips from Overland. Both were shocked by what they saw.
St. Louis hasn't been like this whole time. I mean, I remember coming down here in the 80s when I was a teenager, and it was totally safe. You know, we could be down here after dark, and it was totally safe.
Left to pick up the pieces after neighbors counted easily 24 cars smashed. Police say a report is being prepared but is incomplete. Now drivers are thinking twice before they'll park near Tower Grove Park again.
I won't come down here without a club on my steering wheel. I won't.
Reporting in South St. Louis, Annie Kroll, 5 on your side.
Anyone with information about this crime spree is asked to contact the St. Louis Police South Patrol Division Station. That number is 314-444-0100. Right now, we're trying to find out more about a deadly shooting that happened just hours ago on North Kings Highway. Here's a look at the scene near the Crown Food Mark in Phillips 66. There, St. Louis Metro Police say they found a man shot in the leg. He died from his injuries. The shooting is under investigation, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more. Police are looking into another shooting that happened last night. This one put an innocent bystander in the hospital. At around 7:30, Jennings police responded to a shooting that happened near the BP gas station on Halls Ferry. There, they found a man shot in the hand. He was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. We're told he is going to be okay. Police say several people were involved in a nearby fight. Shots rang out, and the victim was caught in the crossfire. If you have any information about this shooting, you're asked to call St. Louis County Police. You can also leave a tip to Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. There was also a triple shooting last night, this one in a popular part of downtown. And once again, all this violence has prevention advocates concerned. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings heard from one woman who says she can't stop the violence alone.
In the summertime, it always seems like it's the hardest for our youth.
It's the first time in a long time Precious Jones is broken down as we recapped a violent weekend in downtown St. Louis.
We have to save our community and save our village because this is not the way that it should be.
A man died Saturday morning after being shot in the head around 4:30 at 16th Street and Washington Avenue. 3 22-year-olds were shot just steps away from Broadway Oyster Bar and Billy's on Broadway. Jones is still recovering from the other day when shots were fired after a meeting to put good into the community.
And myself and another community member and State Rep Collins, and we ended up having to run for our life and hide in bushes with 2 kids.
Grief for her goes deep after losing her son, her nephew, and her brother all in 4 years.
You had to be a beacon.
Yeah.
It was like
just no choice.
Jones remembers fun summers in Missouri and support.
If your mother or something was at work and the neighbor cooked, you can go there and, get your bowl of chili or whatever. So they don't have that now.
That's why she continues to be steadfast in her nonprofit, Breaking Generational Poverty.
We have mentoring. We set up different events. We collaborate and volunteer with other organizations.
As elections approach,
on my website, I have a section where it has links for those that may want to get their names on the ballot to become politicians, just to educate themselves on the voting days and what it's for.
And as she walks the walk, she wants others to come along.
We have to do something, and we have to be consistent.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
And there are 3 violence prevention events Jones wants you to know about. A Stop the Violence basketball game set for June 17th. That'll be from 1:30 to 4 at McClure North High School. Breaking Generational Poverty is looking for vendors, and it's free of charge. There will also be a town hall meeting on June 20th, hosted by Senator Mosley to discuss gun violence. And June 22nd, Moms Demand Action will hold their monthly meeting on the topic. All this information is available on KSDK.com.
Coming up, Reluctant Hero.
Whether you're a cook or a weatherman or a truck driver, it took all of us to make the win.
The local veteran who helped turn the tide of freedom heads back to the beaches for the 80th anniversary of D-Day.
Well, this west to east flow continues to contribute to storms moving from west to east, but will we get any? We'll track why this pattern is important and also talk about your best storm chances on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Fighting back against false rhetoric.
I think it's really inspired some of the people in the community to start coming out to more shows.
During Pride Month, the pop star throwing support behind drag performers.
Making a Difference is sponsored by Midwest Bank Center.
This coming Thursday will mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and a local veteran is preparing for a journey back to the beaches where he helped change the course of history. No one's made more of a difference for all of us than our veterans. And in tonight's Making a Difference report, this reluctant hero's return to Normandy and the lasting legacy of the greatest generation.
It still looks good on you.
I don't know about that.
It does. It still looks good, and it still fits.
His leather bomber jacket is a time capsule. Its well-worn creases a silent tribute to his battles over Nazi-occupied France.
Goldie Goldsticker Jr., D-Day 80th.
At 102 years old, Ralph Goldsticker returns to Normandy this week for the 80th anniversary of D-Day, a defining moment of the 20th century that he helped shape as a young B-17 bombardier.
We went out in our planes about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Goldsticker flew 2 harrowing missions on June 6, 1944, dropping bombs on German gun placements just ahead of the Allied landings on the beaches below.
We had to fly to Scotland, get in bomber streams, come back and hit the beaches.
Goldsticker and his crew spent over 14 hours in the air that fateful day as part of that massive aerial armada unleashed on Hitler's defenses.
That afternoon it was clear, in the morning it was cloudy, but I could see the whole harbor.
The invasion force was staggering, 7,000 ships and landing craft, a testament to the scale and importance of the operation. Though D-Day marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany, Ralph Goldsticker is still a reluctant hero.
There are 16 million of us in the armed forces during World War II, whether you're a cook or a weatherman or a truck driver. It took all of us to make the win. This was laying on my bunk after the Russian attack.
The past is ever present in this veteran's home.
This is my first mission, and this is Normandy.
With maps, letters, and precious memorabilia serving as tangible reminders of his service. Among his most prized possessions, the Distinguished Flying Cross and the French Legion of Honor, France's highest distinction.
Heroes get those.
Right.
Right?
Yep. Okay.
Though he's 102, Ralph Goldsticker still lives independently. His wife Helen died in 2012, and now he's gearing up for another transatlantic journey.
We're going to be laying a wreath at, I think, 3 different cemeteries, the group I'm with.
And what will you be thinking about?
So we owe a debt to those that didn't come back. I was lucky, but there's that 400,000 didn't make it. My position was here in the nose with 250 calibers.
Nearly 80 years after his baptism by fire over Normandy, Ralph Goldsticker remains a beacon of courage and resilience that defined the greatest generation. But he insists that the true heroes were those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
We have to respect them because we have our freedom because of those men.
As he gets ready to step onto those hallowed beaches, Ralph Goldsticker's footprints will serve as a reminder that the tide of freedom was turned on D-Day thanks to the sacrifices of ordinary men who did extraordinary things.
I'm just lucky to be alive, that's all.
Approximately 150 American veterans are expected to travel to Normandy, about 24 of whom actually fought on D-Day, including Ralph Goldsticker. That's the sound more than 100,000 NASCAR fans came out to hear this weekend for the Enjoy Illinois 300. And people weren't just coming for the racing, there was also food, live music, and more. The race expected to pump nearly $60 million into the local economy, and fans we talked to were loving it.
Why do you love racing?
Just because we get to come with our family and have fun.
It was on our bucket list and took me 68 years to get here, but I finally got here.
I want to say you can feel the sound, but that makes no sense. That's what it is. Like, that's my favorite part.
A Riley Green concert wrapped up today's festivities. Hot and muggy are the watchwords as we head into the work week. Meteorologist Gary Frank joins us now with that weather first forecast.
Yeah, we felt it a little bit today, but it wasn't too bad. At least it was dry for that Enjoy Illinois 300, and that's always a big concern. And there's no moisture allowed. We can get by with hit and miss rain showers in our day, but not on this track or anything else. But right now we're starting to see more clouds enter the frame here as storms to the south have settled in, but they'll keep us dry tonight. In fact, overnight we're going to fall into the mid-60s. It's warm. You'll notice that mugginess and cloud cover is acting as a blanket, so we're not even going to drop much outside the city, even though we have done so the past few days. Now, one of the reasons I talked about before was from this west to east, and we look at this, typically that's where our weather patterns are coming from, right? But sometimes we have these dips in the jet streams or strong highs that build in and really dig in for heat, humidity, and dry weather. But as we see this, there's nothing too significant, but what we're noticing is all these storms that work their way across the Front Range of the Rockies. They ride that moisture right over the 12,000, 15,000 feet, and then storms develop. And then sometimes they don't move too far if there's nothing pushing them, there's no big wind, or they fall apart after they've created considerable rain. You'll see that wide area. This is a pretty standard pattern for us, but watch how we've had some of these storms that have developed, filled into one big line, and then even taken a dive to the south. So you're thinking, well, this is headed our way, right? Oh, watch what this computer model does to this, right? It fizzles it out completely. And that's what happens this time of the year. But what I do want to point out is what it leaves behind at these little boundaries as it falls apart. And so when we get our own heating of the day, we have that humidity. That's maybe a little bit of a spark that provides it to at least give us an opportunity for scattered showers and storms. Now, sometimes the timing may vary and you don't know exactly where these storms are going to develop, but perhaps Monday evening looks like it's going to be our first bet. So let's talk about that first. On your Monday, you're going to start off dry, temps in the mid 70s. It's muggy. We're in the 80s by noon, and then 88 by 3 o'clock. At least a chance around. I think a lot of people are going to miss this rain. However, as we go into Tuesday morning, same type of thing. There's going to be lots of dry time on Tuesday. Brief heavy rain is possible, and then we'll see that fizzle out. As we run into where these boundaries are, sun comes out again, it gets hot and humid. We may see another additional storm fire up. It's just where do these boundaries set up? That's what determines our rain chances. So Monday, even at noon, I think is dry. Let's call the best rain chances Monday evening, Tuesday morning, and then Wednesday as the front finally pushes through. I think that's our best bet. So for the next few days, 88 tomorrow, there will be times of rain that we have to worry about. Like I mentioned, those highlighted times, but I think once we get this front that moves through on Wednesday, that rain is out of here early. Then we dry out. It looks like it's going to clear out the rest of the week and be less humid, but no rain early morning when you see this traffic connoisseur.
It's Paul Cook, your traffic guy from Today in St. Louis, and we're on the move. Sometimes when it comes to traffic signals, you don't feel quite on the move. It can seem like there's no real rhyme or reason to the lights and when they change. So I wanted to learn how stoplight sequencing works, who controls them, and what's the overall philosophy when traffic signals are programmed. Different agencies control our traffic signals. Transportation and Public Works is the St. Louis County Agency for Lights. The county uses a system called Tactics, which looks like this. Tactics allows personnel to make timing changes from a computer workstation through their fiber optic network infrastructure, and they can usually fix malfunctions remotely. If you're driving in the City of St. Louis Traffic and Lighting Division is in charge. It's responsible for maintaining the dusk to dawn lights along city streets. I talked with the Commissioner of Traffic, Jamie Wilson, about driving downtown and how the lights are programmed.
Traffic signals are coordinated for mainline phases. So if you enter randomly into a corridor from a side street, you may encounter a stop where the coordination plans for arterial set for the arterial from one signal to the next in a predictable pattern.
There are lots of drivers who don't obey the signals. How much does sequencing play a role in that?
Yeah, it's kind of out of our realm. We're traditional timing plan development where your yellow and reds are a set by formula. It has nothing to do with people that break the law. All I could tell my kids that are learning to drive, even though it says green, it goes to you, look both ways more than once.
And the number one goal of signals is always your safety. Carry on. Paul Cook, 5 on your side.
Coming up, A pop star promotion. How 3 local drag performers were celebrated when Chapel Roan came to town. It's Pride Month, and a pop star on the rise is using her new platform to highlight local drag performers. Homegrown Missouri singer Chapel Roan has been supporting the LGBTQ+ community for years. Drag queens Visa Decline, Manna Stekic Highland, and Chloe Curiosity got to see that support firsthand when they were asked to be her opening act. They're just 3 of dozens of drag performers invited to take the stage ahead of every show of Roan's The Midwest Princess Tour. All 3 of the performers say it was a perfect way to celebrate the community at a time when the political climate isn't always accepting.
Especially like right now with everything that's going on, I think it's so important. Pride is so important to just get out there and just spread the message. Being able to tell all these people like drag is not a crime and show all these young people like we're just here to have fun.
You can catch all of these performers weekly in and around the St. Louis area. Coming up, Buried in Berries. A look at what makes a Kimswick summer so sweet.
The vibe is just really fun. Tons of vendors show up. So it's just a really fun day to kick off the summer.
Downtown Kimswick was bursting with berries this weekend for the annual Strawberry Festival. Dozens of food and craft vendors were set up all weekend with a variety of strawberry treats. Always a highlight of the summer. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. Don't forget to kick off tomorrow with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 4 a.m. And now here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.